I found out a month ago that the love of my life and my best friend have been having an affair for at least the past year. After looking into it more, not only did all our friends know, but they have also been actively hanging out with them. I'm a socially awkward individual, so making friends for me is hard. I met all of them through my best friend, so I guess it is natural they chose him over me. I hated all of them. I spent 24/7 with one of them when their parent died because they didn't want to be alone and were a danger to himself. I was there for another when her boss was harassing her, and she needed help finding a new job. I let another one stay at my place for free for 3 months because his parents kicked him out when he told them he was gay. All 6 of those aholes have been through so much, and I was there for every one of them. Now I realize they all just kept me around to use me when they needed, including my GF and best friend. I helped the man start his business when no one would invest in him. Still hasn't really taken off, and he still asks for my time to help him do things. I've been working day and night to help her pay off the medical bills from her surgery after she had an accident. I've been out of the house for a few months because my mother was sick, and I needed to help her. But I still commute back 10 hours every weekend to make sure my GF is doing all right. I have gone through her phone and seen all the pictures, the flirty messages, and the group chats, all of them planning outings, meetings, and whatnot. I have seen the disparaging messages about me, the I love yous, and them basically flip-flopping between still loving me, leaving me, not wanting to hurt me anymore, and then realizing they need me. They all still need me. I was pissed, and I was so angry I scared myself. The thing about being the go-to guy for help and being the quiet one is that people trust you. They tell you things that can get you in a lot of trouble. I spent the past month preparing my plan, getting everything in order to absolutely implode their lives in a way you can never recover without someone altruistically helping you out. But who will help them? Not me. And they can't ask each other because they will all be in the same damn boat. Everything was ready. I had pictures, videos, and text logs. The lease would have been up in December, and I wasn't renewing that. I have a new job lined up, which would pay less, but I know I will enjoy. All my main items were out, and the rest I didn't care for. I pretended to go out to my mom's. I waited an hour and came back. I could see them through the windows, him and her cuddling and kissing while they all sat around chatting like it's a regular day. I took a picture of that scene. I was ready to send the texts and emails, basically ready to set their lives ablaze. I couldn't. No matter how much someone has hurt me, I can't be responsible for ruining someone's life. Sure, they did the things and I was just unearthing them. It would still have been my decision that burned them all, and there would have been collateral damage to people who did nothing. I had come this far and had to do something, so I just sent the picture in a group chat and looked in. One by one, they checked the message and started panicking, I guess. One of them finally spots my car, and I see them all look at me. I don't know what was going in their heads. Was it panic, regret, guilt, sadness? Who knows? I started my car, and as I started driving off, my ex came out barefoot in the cold, moving as fast as she could in her state. I don't know if she was crying because of guilt or regret, but I didn't care. I drove off to my mom. They called me a bunch of times and sent me thousands of messages. I used to read all of them, and with each one, I felt less for them. It went from asking for forgiveness to anger to groveling, basically to questions about how they will do the things I used to do for all of them. I don't care. I'm getting a new number on Monday. I still get a new sobbing voicemail from my ex every 20-30 minutes asking for me to come back. I get texts from my ex-best friend to come back and beat him up, that he would sell everything he owns and give it to me. My friends apologizing for their parts and wanting to be pals again. I don't know what drives this, but they know I've read some of them. I think I'm over it. I don't feel angry anymore, and I feel happy I didn't do what they did to me. It would have never been satisfying for me. Now for the 11-month update. Hi everyone. I happen to remember this account, so I decided why not update you all. First of all, my mom is doing much better and is preparing for a 5K. Her goal is to complete one by 2025. Thank you for all your well wishes. I would like to tell you everything with me is going great and I'm doing amazing. That my ex-friends in GF are doing terribly and are destitute. Life isn't a movie or a storybook, and things don't work out the way we would like them to. But it can get pretty close to one. I am doing amazing. My new job has been one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. Since I stopped paying for unnecessary medical bills and rent for a place I never really cared for, I've saved up so much money. I decided to finally invest that money in something worthwhile. Myself. I didn't hit the gym or anything, but I did get some work done on my teeth. They had some minor discoloration. When they shaped it for a crown and removed the layers, it looked like it was painted with Pepsi or something. It was a boost in confidence. I started buying more and more clothes and building outfits. I started anti-anxiety meds, which have brought me out of my shell. I feel so much better. I met someone a few weeks ago. We've just been talking through text, and it seems to be going well. I don't really know what's going on with the people I left behind. I heard rumors that came from a long chain of people, so don't trust them really. My ex and ex-best friend are having a baby, which has caused financial issues for them with the medical debt and struggling business venture, but are somehow making it work. The girl whom I helped get a job was caught in an affair with her boss. He may or may not be married, it's unclear, who threw her under the bus professionally to save himself, but seems to have landed on her feet because the company wanted to avoid a scandal. Another one of them has gotten engaged to his GF. Last I remember, he was single, so don't even know how long they've been involved. The one I housed for 3 months is doing fine as well, but may have gotten an STD from one of his one-night buddies. I have no information on the last dude. So a mixed bag of good for me and a little bad for them, but not terrible. Just normal life issues. It's as close as one gets to karmic justice, I guess. The last contact I had with my ex was an email 6 months ago. She detailed how sorry she was about the fallout of her actions. She just fell in love with him while still loving me and didn't really know how to proceed from there. It was a bad time for her, as she relied on me so much that made her get resentful, and something about being with him made her feel in control. She ended it with how much she regrets her actions and the hurt she caused, but doesn't regret loving me or him, and that she still loves us both and will always be here if I need her. I never responded because there was no need. I can understand her perspective in this. Doesn't mean I condone her actions, but I can somewhat forgive her and move on from this permanently. Humans are complex, and so is love. Sometimes we hurt the ones we love the most. While I don't like her or her actions, I do believe she loved us both. She doesn't seem to have any reason to lie. Anyway, Ches la vie. Have a good evening, guys, and don't spend your energy getting upset or anything on my behalf. Am I the idiot for blocking a woman who turned a promising date into a nightmare with her disgusting behavior? Hey everyone, so basically yesterday I had the most horrible date of my life. It was awful. First, some context. I met this girl through a mutual friend. They are not very close, but she said she's a great girl and that we should meet. We saw each other with our mutual friend, and after that, we started texting, which was awesome. She was so kind, funny, and smart. We have been texting each other for a month, and it has been great. So some days ago, I decided to ask her on a date. I proposed to go eat sushi because we both love it. Since she does not have a driver's license yet, I told her that I would pick her up at her house, and then we both could go. So I picked her up, and everything was great until we arrived at the restaurant. When we took a seat for eating, I told her I was going to go to the bathroom and wash my hands. She replied, "Why the hell would you wash your hands? I do not wash my hands before eating." I was shocked and only said, "Well, okay, but I feel more comfortable if I go," and so I went. After that, the meal was simply horrible. She burped every time, and not only burping, she also farted, but not even hiding it. She literally said, "Shit, I have a fart," and started farting. The same with burping. I was disgusted, honestly, and also so confused, like what the hell? And while the meal, we were talking, and she did not let me talk for almost the entire meal. It was completely different from her messages. She was the one who talked the entire time, saying how great the course she is studying is and how she is going to be paid a lot in the future. We are both 20, so we are studying, not like working totally. I told her that was great and that I expected the same for my career when I finished it. And she literally replied, "Well, I am sorry, but your career can be well paid, but it is definitely not cool. I think you should leave it and study my course." I was more shocked. So back to the story. I was shocked and really upset. She was criticizing my career while farting and burping, and I told her, "But in messages, you said you liked my career." She replied to me, "Well, yeah, I did not want to be rude, but now I want to be true." After the meal, she told me that she had to go to the bathroom. And when she came back, she told me, literally, fuck, there was no toilet paper. I had to use my sock. And she had her sock in her hand. At that point, I was just crying internally. After that, I was like, well, okay, I have to go, So I said, okay, I will take you back to your house. I took her back and I was like, okay, bye. And she said, no, come over. I was like, no, do not worry. I do not have so much time, She insisted, and at the end, I entered, but I was not there for more than 5 minutes. It was impossible. When I entered, I noticed a hard smell of Zaza. There was Zaza and dust spread everywhere on the floor, desks, wardrobe, everywhere. And she told me while grabbing Zaza from a desk, "This is what you freaking need to stop being so nice." Then I looked at the floor and I saw some cockroaches. She told me that she and her parents do not like cleaning and that they just live life. I told her, I am sorry, but I cannot be here for long, and I went back to my car. She has texted me saying that I have a problem and that I should change my career and study something cool. I blocked her. I am honestly still in shock and also upset because I do not know who that person in those messages was. She was a completely different person in messages than in real life, and I don't know. Also, I am a little bit hopeless because this was my first serious date with someone. I have had other ones, but not serious because it was more like, let's go to the park, drink, and eat some chips. Anyway, I wanted to share this and basically vent. Now for the 3-day update. Hey everyone, hope you are all great. A lot of people told me they wanted to know what my friend said when I told her about that horrible date and what her friend did. But because she was out of the country and I did not want to mess up her holidays, I decided to wait. Yesterday, I met her. We went to the pool, but first we talked in her house, and I told her what happened. Basically, she is in shock. She says that she knew she smoked a lot of Zaza because apparently she always smokes Zaza during breaks in class. I told her I do not care that she smoked Zaza as long as she can control herself. It is not legalized in my country, but I stand for it to be legal. Anyways, I told her that what bothered me was how she was a totally different person outside her messages. I told her how rude she was and how she was burping and farting all the time. She was so in shock and could not understand anything. I also told her what happened during the 5 minutes we were at her house, and of course, the disgusting and horrible part of the sock. My friend was frozen, honestly. She apologized and said that she cannot believe that and that she had to rethink. My friend was actually really shocked, as if now she has to consider what kind of person this girl is. Anyway, everything is fine between my friend and me, of course, and she honestly does not want to hang out with this girl after all that happened. And I keep recovering from that date, and from now on, I think I need some space, so no more dates for a while. Honestly, I am not in the mood. Thank you all for reading this and for all your support. I really love this community. Definitely a safe place for me. You guys help me a lot and make me see that I am not alone in this world. Sending a big hug to anyone who reads this. And once again, sorry if something is not well written. Am I the idiot for dumping my girlfriend after she turned my proposal into a social media circus? I proposed to my girlfriend of 4 years, but she said no because it wasn't a surprise. I'll start by saying I love my girlfriend a lot, but she is definitely high maintenance. We've been talking about getting married for a couple of years now, but I wanted to wait until I knew a wedding was something we could afford. I finally got a promotion, and she found stable employment, so I went out and bought a ring. We went on a vacation last week. The whole trip was very romantic, and I proposed to her on the beach, which I thought she would have wanted. Turns out she expected it all along because the trip was so romantic, and she said no. She wants me to try again, but wants it to be a surprise this time. She also wants a photographer to be there to capture the moment. It was pretty embarrassing when a few people came up to us to congratulate us, and she was explaining why she said no. I'm not sure what to do. She wanted it to be a surprise, but also wanted me to propose as soon as I felt ready to. We also talked about her ideal engagement, and it's on a beach, in a forest, or in a field. I can't imagine any possible scenario where I could surprise her at one of those locations. She is not the outdoorsy type, so it'd be unlikely she would be in any of those locations anyways. I explained my frustration to her, and she just says, "Well, if you want to get married, you will find a way to make it work." It seems so bratty and immature, and I'm not sure how to deal with her now. I'm still really pissed off about it. What should I do about this? Am I wrong to be pissed off? Now for a few important comments. One commenter said, "Your girlfriend doesn't sound nearly mature enough to get married. Take this as a sign of your life to come and get out." I responded, "I think you're right. I had been trying to justify it for her, but judging by the overwhelming response, I should probably break it off." Another commenter suggested, "Ask your good friends their truthful opinion on her, and make sure to let them know that they won't get a backlash for saying something bad. They know better than us." I replied, "My friends can't stand her." Then another commenter added, "Take the ring back to the jeweler. Does she want an engagement or does she want a marriage? I can totally see Bridezilla growing on her already. Yikes." I responded, "Yeah, that's another thing. When we were talking about her dream proposal, she was showing me her Pinterest for her dream wedding, and it's full of stuff we won't ever be able to afford. I told her it's unlikely our wedding would be like that, but we could still make it nice, and she said she'd rather wait till we can afford her dream wedding." Another commenter predicted, "And by rather wait, I suspect she means nag you about either getting a better job or taking out a loan to pay for what she wants. Don't do this to yourself, man." I replied, "Yeah, she told me I could start selling some of the furniture I make, which is something I do as a hobby that she wants me to turn into a second job." Now for the update. I decided to try and talk about it with her one last time before throwing in the towel. And I wasn't really expecting much, but I just wanted to see if she'd see my side. She lives with me, so I wanted to end things on a good note. She didn't understand at all. She was still saying I needed to work for it, and she wasn't taking me seriously, so I broke up with her. Then she told me she accepts my proposal, and we're just going through a rough patch. But we will work it out. She was really trying to get me to change my mind and was promising me she would be better to me. She completely ignored me every time I told her we're breaking up and was always yelling over me about how we were going to work things out now that we're engaged. Eventually, I just got tired and went to sleep, thinking it was perfectly clear that it was over. I woke up Saturday to a whole bunch of messages. She found the ring and took a pic with it on, announcing our engagement, and tagged me in it on Facebook. We got into another huge fight, and eventually, I just called her parents and told them to come pick up all her stuff, or it's going to the dump as soon as she leaves. They were surprisingly understanding. Her dad seemed really embarrassed by her, but they were a huge help. I know it's illegal to do that, and I was supposed to actually evict her, but she got seriously violent, and I didn't want her in my house anymore. She smashed my iPad and knocked my PlayStation off the TV stand, and both are completely broken. So I didn't want to wait around and see what else she would do. She wouldn't even give me the ring back. Her dad had to guilt her into it. It was pretty pathetic. So that's the end of us. Really sucks. I wasted the last 4 years with her, but I guess it was better to get out now. It's nice that I can hang out with all my friends again. A girl I'm friends with asked me out on a date, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm actually pretty nervous. I know it's way too early, but even if it doesn't work out, it should be fun to start dating again. Now for a few more comments. One commenter said, "A girl I'm friends with asked me out on a date, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow." Too soon, bro. I replied, she knows the entire situation. It's not serious. She told me years ago she had a crush on me, but we're good friends now. Who knows what will happen? Another commenter remarked, perhaps this is why your crazy ex did not like your girlfriends. I responded, yeah, that's what started it. I don't blame my girlfriend for that. I shut my friend down then and told my girlfriend about it because I didn't want to keep things from her. I don't think I did anything wrong in that situation, but after that, she didn't want me talking to any women.